guys. Okay, I was going to come and do some, well, just a video with some messy play, and I was going to do some mixed media. I was going to actually get out my modelling paste and some ink gold, and I was going to get some stencils out, and I was going to yeah, do some playing mixed media, but I cannot for the life of me find either my heat gun or my little mini hairdryer that I bought. So yeah, I mean, we can still do that, but it's not going to be dry for me to be able to do the next process of the crafty play I was going to do, which was I was going to use some oxide sprays and stuff on it. I just don't know where they are, so my mind's a bit fussed now. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, my desk is still a mess from the last video that I did, from the scraps swap that I did with the lovely Jen at Bumblebee Crafts 13, and I have had a play yesterday off camera, and I did, like I said, this little pile that I created here for tags and stuff. I took some of the papers, glued them onto these plain craft tags that Mum gave me, and yes, and then I had a little play yesterday with this. This was the little rub-on sample piece that I did in the end of my Taperlogy video. Then I just had some little pieces left over like this from cutting this down. So then I glued that on, just glued that on with a bit of glue stick, glued that on, bit of glue stick. Used my stamp platform and did some stamping over the top of them, and then I went round them on the sewing machine. You can see better on the back where I sewed them. So I sewed around that bit, I sewed around this, and then around the edge with a combination of straight stitch and zigzag stitch, and then I just put an eyelet in. So yeah, like I said, I did that off camera, and then I inked around the edge, did that off camera, and today I was going to, like I said, do some more with modelling paste and stencils, but yeah, I can't find my heat gun or hairdryer, so it's really bugging me. I only had the hairdryer. It's just a little mini travel hairdryer that I bought, nothing special. I bought it last year when we got, no, the year before when I got Kit Kat. Obviously for, I mean, I bought it for crafting actually, but I used it a lot for Kit after we'd bathed him and whatever, and then we could dry him off. Used it a lot last year with Cord, the same, and then I used it a few weeks ago on the kittens, doing the same, you know, giving them a bath and then drying them, and I've not seen it since, so I don't know where I put it. It's kind of thrown me a little bit, but anyway, as I said, I can still do the modelling paste side of things. But I just can't dry it and then carry on playing like I was going to. So anywho, let's get on with it. I have multitudes of stencils, but what I thought were, because these are only small tags, we'd have a flip through these and see if anything in these sparks the fancy. These came from I'm not sure. It was either Glowbland or it was I can't think. It was a collaboration that I did anyway, I'm sure it were. Or was it Christmas stock? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I might have even got them for Christmas. Now that one seems a bit interesting. So they didn't come on the ring, I put them on the ring myself. Yeah, so I just want something a little bit quirky. And that's not too bad, some circles. They are quite florally and whatnot. I think these are actually Christmas. I think I got these for Christmas. I can't remember, guys. Brain fuzz. blame it on the heat. It is warm. It is very warm here. Quite like that one. So, let's just see. Let's flick through. That one could be interesting. Yeah, I'm a little thrown now as to what I'm going to do. Oh, that one's okay. Yeah, strange. Anyhow, how are you all doing, guys? It's good to be back, it really is. I've been wanting to come back and craft and film for a long time. My mojo just... Hi guys, sorry, don't know what happened there, the camera just went off. Yeah, so how are you all doing, guys? I hope you're all okay. It is good to be back. I've wanted to come back for quite some time now, but the crafting mojo just hasn't been there at all. But yeah, I've had, I would say a gentle push, but more of a kick up the backside from Steve. So, like, come on, get your backside in gear, get in that room and get back to doing what you love. So yeah, here I am, back at it. I think they'll do for now. Okay. So, I'm just gonna have a drink on boiling. For those of you who aren't aware, obviously, I really don't know what's wrong with this phone today. It keeps cutting off. Anyway, as I was saying, I think, for those of you who aren't aware, I've been AWOL on and off for a while now. But yeah, life is getting back on track somewhat. And it's long overdue. So it's been almost 2 years next month, since not just my life, but everybody's lives were turned upside down. And it's been difficult. I ain't gonna lie to you guys, it has been difficult, extremely. Not something we talk about much, but, you know, I'm just gonna get some masking tape, bear with me. I've tried to kind of avoid the subject at all costs on here, because that's just not how I roll, and yeah, not something I wanted to wear in public anyway, and I'm still not going to, because there's still a lot of unresolved issues with regards to that matter. But obviously I had a marriage breakdown, as many of you know, and it's not been easy, it really hasn't. But, you know, life goes on. So, and mine did. So, I am now very, very, very happy in a relationship with my best friend that I have known for over half my life, 20 odd years. And for those who have noticed, yes, we are getting married. So that's awesome. I'm just waiting for my divorce to finalise, which should be done in October this year. And then it's kind of all systems go. So some people think we've rushed into it, but they don't understand, they don't know or understand the history that me and Steve have together. So yeah, those that do obviously, and those that do are extremely happy for us and supportive. And yeah, so anyway, all that matters is my life has moved on. I am happy. I am not looking back. I am now starting to look ahead, which is extremely scary, but you know, it needed to be done. So it was time. Taylor is happy with the situation, so Taylor's very supportive of the situation, and him and Steve get on brilliantly. Obviously he'll never ever be a replacement for Taylor's dad, and I don't want him to be, you know. They did know each other. Nothing happened, you know, for anybody thinking there was no affairs going on or anything like that. So, not that it matters what you guys think, but I'm just clearing that wall, clearing those, yeah, not rumours, but thoughts now. Everything's been above board and legitimate. So, me and Steve didn't even get back in contact until New Year just gone. Well, Christmas actually, just gone. So, yeah. Anywho, oh wow, love that. Really like that. Okay, so now I just need the heat to do its thing and dry that. Hopefully it might dry before the end of the video. Okay, so clear some room over here and put that over there to dry near the window. Hopefully it'll work. But yeah, so that's about it really, guys. That's all I'm going to go into. You know, there was no foul play or anything like that on either side. It was just one of those things. There's a lot more to it, but obviously I'm not going into it because some things should be left private. But I know a lot of you have been concerned as to where I've been and why I've not been online much. Not just on YouTube and whatever, but online in general, because I did used to have quite a presence in the crafting groups that I was in with some of you guys. And a lot of people have been concerned that I've not been around much. So, but yeah, I'm here, guys, I'm here. I'm hopefully, as I said, making my way back now and onwards and upwards. I've got a wedding to look forward to. Actually, I've got 2 weddings to look forward to. One not mine, one is mine. Yeah, there's been a lot of other drama and stuff going on in the background. A few people have commented, yes, I have had a tattoo. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I've always wanted one. It was one of those, always wanted a tattoo because I knew I'd never get one done. Always wanted my belly button pierced as well because I knew I'd never get it done. It's one of those, yeah, I want it because I know I won't do it. Medical reasons that now I physically can't have a belly button piercing from when I was sterilised. And yeah, the tattoo were always one of them, put it on the bucket list, but I know I'll never do it. But then, as some of you guys are aware, my beloved cat, my beloved cat, Kit Kat, not Coda that comes in on the films. Kit used to come in on filming before as well, but Coda's the main one that you see now. But my beloved Kit Kat got run over back in February, early February, and unfortunately, yeah, we had to make the dreaded call and let him go to the Rainbow Bridge, and it absolutely broke my heart because, as you regular followers will know, that Kit was my therapy cat after everything went on. And I've just stuck the baby white packet down into that, but it's give it some good texture. So yes, Kit was my therapy cat after everything that went down right at the start. He kind of helped me pull through, sort of thing. So yes, it was very, very, very heartbreaking. And yes, the tattoo is in memory of him, obviously a cat, and then the semicolon to represent mental health because of Taylor more than anything. Taylor, as many of you guys know, has autism, and then through everything going doolally like it did, I ended up on antidepressants and anxiety meds as well myself, so I've struggled a lot these last 2 years, well 18 months. So yeah, it's kind of a representation of both worlds there, mine and Taylor's. And as I said, a lovely tribute to my beautiful Kit Kat. But yeah, so I did say, not that I have an obsession much, but I did say that, you know, the time will come, we need another kitten, mainly for Coda, because Kit was Coda's world. Kit was actually Coda's uncle, but he took him on, and, you know, Coda being so young, even the vet said, you know, he was stressed out. He kind of stopped eating at one point and was losing parts of his fur, so I took him for a checkup, and they said, yeah, you know, he's grieving. Cats grieve, you know. All animals grieve the same way humans do, really, but he was grieving the loss of Kit, as was we, which made it all the more difficult for us. But yeah, and even they suggested, you know, maybe not yet obviously, but in time it might be an idea to look at getting another cat, another kitten for him, a friend. It might help him and us. So for a long time I wasn't ready, and then last month in April it was like, right, I think I'm ready now, and I started looking on sites like PDSA and that, no, PDSA is dogs, RSPCA and Cats Trust and that sort of thing, and seeing if there was anything available and what the process were for adoption and that sort of thing. And then a friend, well, my nephew and his girlfriend turned up at the cafe, and they were like, oh, we've got a kitten, blah de blah, this that and other. They were asking advice and stuff, and she's like, oh, it's gorgeous, little black one. I'm like, oh no, really? Do you have to? Because Kit was black. He's like, yeah, little black one, they're all black, they're gorgeous, and she's got some left. I'm like, are you joking me? She's like, no. And then it turned out that the person they got it from was a girl that I grew up with when I was younger, because, oh, that's lovely. My nephew and his girlfriend are actually living on the same street that I grew up on when I was younger, just further at the top of the street from where we used to live. So it's like, oh, really? So I was like, send me pictures. They were in the cafe and then they were going home. They'd been and bought a litter box and some bits, and like, when you get home, get her to get some pictures of the ones she's got left and send them to me. Get her to send them to me, or you send them to me and whatnot. So yeah, I'm like, but if they've got a black one, which she said they were all black, I'm like, right, well, if they've got a black male, I mean, not so bad if it's female, but preferably I want a male one. So if they've got a black male one, tell her we'll definitely have it, because back then it was a first come first serve thing, and there'd been a lot of interest in them. So I was like, right, tell her it's me. Obviously she'll remember me from when we were younger. I'm like, tell her it's me that wants it, and tell her preferably a male. We'll have one anyway, but preferably male if possible. So yeah, they messaged and said, yeah, there's definitely one left. There's only one male though, the others are females. And I'm like, oh, right, great, get it then, we'll have it. So my nephew's girlfriend, my niece, turned around and said, well, do you want me to nip across and pick it up and fetch it to mine, and we'll keep it here until you can come and pick it up with the one that we've got? They can play together. I'm happy, you know, no bother. I'm like, yeah, that'll be great. Yeah, you know, keep hold of it. I'll give you some money for food for it and that sort of thing. She's like, oh, I'm not bothered about that. We'll just keep hold of it. It'll be good fun for mine to play with. I'm like, yeah, great, no problem. And then as it turned out, Steve come from work to cafe, and I'm like, I've kind of sort of got a kitten. He's like, okay, no problem. I'm like, yeah. So he's like, where and when? We're like, well, it's at our Raymond's and Caitlin's got it, and she's looking after it, and yeah, so we can go and pick it up whenever, really. And instead of, we'd arranged to pick it up a couple of days after originally, and then instead of doing that, we actually went and got him that night, and we ended up with a little Cooper, little black one, Cooper. So we had him on his own for a couple of days. Coda took a couple of days to take to him, but then they were just like best of buddies. So yeah, we had little Cooper on his own for a couple of days, and oh, it was brilliant. And he's so much like Kit, it is unreal. He's Kit's double, and it not just looks, but the things that he does, his mannerisms, his little catitude and everything. Hey, Coda Bear. Yeah, he's just Kit all over. He really is mini Kit. So it's like, yeah, he definitely sent him to us. He really did. The timing was right and just perfect. But we had laughed and joked and said a few times before even contemplating getting another one that we wanted a ginger one. Like, if we get one, we have to get a ginger one, because I'm ginger, and laughing and joking, like, you know, gingers are a dying breed now, we've got to stick together, blah de blah. So, oh, I love that. Yeah, so we'd said about a ginger one, and then obviously this black one came available, because I said, actually, I don't want another black one after Kit. But then this black one came up, and it's like, oh, I've got to have it. But then, yeah, a couple of days later, my niece Jasmine, that I work at the cafe with, messaged me saying, you know, you said you wanted a ginger kitten. I'm like, oh, don't do this to me, don't do it. She's like, yeah, she said, our delivery driver, his girlfriend, the cats have kittens, and it's got there's a ginger one, there's a few different colours, but there's a ginger one. So I'm like, are you kidding me? This was like 3 days after we got Cooper. So she sent pictures, of course she did. She sent pictures, and we were sat talking to Steve, we were flicking through them, and both of us are like, oh my god, but Cooper needs a friend. So we ended up with a ginger one called Tom as well, but that was funny. I have never, ever in my life struggled naming a cat as much as we struggled naming Tom. It was unreal. It was just so surreal. It's still wet. Yeah, so surreal. We just couldn't name him at all. You know, you get all these names in your head for kittens and things. You just kind of look at a kitten and you tend to know what they're going to be called, but we just couldn't name him at all. Nothing. We went through all sorts. Like, literally all sorts. Ginge was the favourite, you know. Ginger Nut, all sorts. And he's a boy as well, so we looked through cat names, we looked through baby names. It was so comical, but so difficult to name this blooming kitten. In the end, after a week, we'd actually already picked him up as well, and we're looking at him, like, maybe it's one of them once we've got him and we're playing with him, a name will come. No, it didn't. What's it? There were all sorts. What's it? Cheetos. Oh, just, yeah, all sorts. Frodo. Everything. Everything that you could think of, and it just didn't suit him. It didn't seem right. Laughed a few times and said Voldemort. All that sort of stuff. Went through all Harry Potter stuff and whatnot. Crookshanks, Hermione, even Ron for Ron Weasley, and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was just like, no, nothing's right. Nothing. It's weird. Nothing seems right. This poor kitten has no name. We've had him a week and he's got no name. And then in the end, it was just like, fine. It's like Voldemort, the cat that shall not be named. So then in the end, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to call him Tom. Literally. His name is Tom. We're going to call him Tom Riddle. After Voldemort, like, he who shall not be named. So it is like the kitten that shall not be named. He who shall not be named. So your name is Tom Riddle. And as soon as I said, your name is Tom Riddle, he just kind of turned and looked at me and went, meow. We were like, oh my god, his name's Tom. So, yeah, that's how he got named. But, oh, it was so funny. And that just moved. It was so funny, though. So, but, yeah, so in a very short space of time, we've had an engagement, a cat death, 2 kittens on board. There's been a funeral in all that as well, a dear family friend at the beginning of the year, unfortunately. It's been non-stop. Oh, and we had COVID. Yeah, happy days. Yeah, actually ended up with COVID again. I was nowhere near as poorly with it this time as I was the first time round, back in 2021. 21? Right, yeah, back end of 21, yeah. Yeah, I was nowhere near as ill. Thankfully, Steve wasn't too bad with it. Steve's diabetic as well, so we've got to constantly keep an eye on his sugars fluctuating and stuff like that, which can be a nightmare on its own, let alone throwing something like COVID into the mix. But luckily, he, you know, come out of it relatively unscathed. His sugars and everything were fine during COVID, but what we found were the aftermath of COVID really played havoc with him, and he's really only just getting back to normal from it. It has been a bit of a nightmare. yeah, so he spent more time off work than he has at work, but luckily they're absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so very accommodating. He's a supervisor anyway, so they're very accommodating for him, and yeah, luckily he's in a really good job, so that's great. But yeah, so we've kind of had it all really, guys. We've been through the ringer, I'll tell you, but we've had some brilliant times as well. Lots of fun. Yeah, this is still wet. But yeah, so that is pretty much the update on a play session. Instead of actually kind of what I wanted to do, it became more of a social Saturday chit chat on a Sunday. Even though this video probably won't go up until tomorrow or a day or two. But yeah, so anyway, once these are dry, then or if I find my heat tool in the meantime, I'll give them a blast. But once these are dry, I'll pop back on camera and we will spritz and spray them and play. I'm not bothered about the little, as Tim Holt says, the skippity bits where I've smudged it and what have you. I'm not too fussed about that. It just adds to the quirkiness. And they're going to get covered anyway, because they're not just going to stay like that. They will get things added to them. But yeah, so there you are, guys. That's pretty much a roundup of what's been going on, and you are now all up to date. So yes, happy days. And that is pretty much all I'm going to say on the matter. There's not going to be any further talk of, you know, what happened or anything. It's now just going to be moving on. So obviously you guys hear me talking about Steve, then obviously my current partner and my fiance. We have known each other a long time. Like I said, we do have prior history from way back. Yeah, so, and we are extremely happy and loving life. And I got a promotion at work. Yes, get in. We took over the other half of the cafe, my brother's cafe. We was currently sharing with a second-hand shop, but they moved out a couple of shops down and we took over the whole cafe, and I got promoted from just general, like, waitressy thing to front of house staff. So yes, like manager staff. Woohoo! Taylor has officially left school now. Oh my gosh, scary. He left on the 17th, I believe it was, but then he had to go back in on the 26th, on Friday, just gone on the 26th, to resit a maths exam that he failed. Yes, they were kind enough to let him go back in and resit it. But that's it now, he's all done, he's all dusted. And he has a interview next week at Burnley College to go and have a look at a games development course, which is just like the perfect course for him. Can't say as I'm happy that it's at Burnley, because it's quite a trek for him to get there and back, but we will sort transport if that's what he wants to do. Transport will be sorted one way or another. Yeah, so fingers crossed that is the course for him and he gets on that, no problem. They seem very accommodating anyway, so we'll see what happens there. Yeah, so if not, he has a plan to fall back on, which is coming and working at the cafe and doing evening courses at college. Yeah, so anyway, we shall see. So there will be further updates on future events, not past events, and that part of my life and journey chapter and whatever has closed. That part of the book has closed now, and yeah, gone. So now we're moving forward. Okay, so happy days, guys. Yay. So I really want these to dry and then I can play. The other video that I did prior to this one was the 3-item swap that I did with Wendy, the lovely Wendy Waters. And through her package, her beautiful package here, all this that we went through, I've got enough stuff in there to make a journal with. The journal cover, well, there's already a pre-made journal cover really by the bag that she sent things in, but we're going to turn that into a journal cover. We're going to make a journal. But myself and Wendy, between us, on Messenger arranged to do a jelly print swap. So at some point down the line in the next week or two, I will be over the Messy area filming some jelly printing, and then once that's been done, I mean, I have a bucket load of jelly prints behind me here on the shelf that I could send to her, but I want, you know, I probably will give her some of those, but I want to do something fresh for her too. And we're going to swap our jelly prints between each other, and then I'm going to use some of those jelly prints to incorporate into that journal, so that will be coming up. And I've just got 1,001 ideas zooming around my head right now on things I want to do. I've been binge watching. I've been, well, I would say forcing Steve to watch, but I haven't, because he's been really intrigued and really interested in it. We've been watching Tim Holt's lives previously on sprays and alcoholics and things like that, and he's like, that looks really cool, I'd love to see you do that. So yeah, and it's like, yeah, this is something I've wanted to do before anyway. So it's like, well, get in your room and get it done then. He's like practically opened the door and booted me back in here, like, get in there and get some work done. So yeah, so it was just loads and loads and loads of stuff, but the main thing is, I want to be here filming. I actually want to be sat at my desk playing. I want to come in here and film. So yay, the mojo's coming back. Woohoo! Anyway, and I really want to say a massive thank you to Tracy Rulton Fox over at Tracy Fox Creative, because it was these events, little mini events that Tracy did with the scraps swap and the 3-item swap that got me back in here wanting to get into things again anyway. So yay, thank you, Tracy. Mwah, I love you millions. Alright guys, so I'm gonna love you and leave you. Take care, stay safe, and I will speak to you all again soon. Go out and enjoy the sunshine if you're in the UK. It's amazing, and it's gonna last another week at least, so they've said. So it's 22 degrees already. Get out there and have some fun and enjoy the sunshine. Get sun creamed up, get protected up, and just have a whale of a time. I'll see you later, guys. Bye!